Selection in SolidWorks has had a lot of different options for many years, and over the last few releases they've added a lot of capabilities for selection. Now some common ones that you're probably used to doing is box selection. You can also do cross selection, which will select everything that box crosses. You can also use both of those tools in conjunction with the control key to select multiple entities. The other thing that you can do is you can also use a tool that was added a few releases ago called Select Subassembly, which will grab everything within that part's subassembly as one selection. These are all good for being able to do isolation views. For example, I can invert that selection. I can also go in and isolate that view, which hides everything temporarily, allowing me to do operations, and then I can exit or save that isolation as a display state. What's also interesting is if you want to go through some of the other options for Select Other. A lot of people realize that if you want to select through the geometry, for example, I say Select Other, obviously I get this little list. But a lot of times that list is basically everything within that view, but a lot of times you may want to drill in and hide other faces. So if you look on the mouse, you'll notice the right click. As you click within the interface, you can hide faces within assemblies and parts and pick the actual face that you're interested in. Now these other options that have been added were in this most current release in 2009, and what you'll notice is if I hit the S key and pull down my selection options, I have a couple of new ones here that I can select from. So I can volume select, which allows me to draw a box, and then use that box in a 3D space to drag and select components contained within that box. The other options that I have is if I want to go through, let's say, and select things that are suppressed or hidden. I can also use the mated to option if I want to pick one component and grab everything that is mated to that actual part. Another nice one that they added was the ability to do all internal components, but also the ability to select toolbox. So you can really get into some detail as far as selecting things at the assembly level. Now at the part level, they didn't leave anything out as well. If you notice at the same part level, if I select, that Select Other functionality works just the same, where I can right click and hide faces within that to get the selection that I want. And I can also go through and utilize the same cross selections. But here's really a nice function is this was added in Service Pack 2, and the Service Pack 2 of 2009 added this new function called Select Connected Faces. Now if I select a face like this, you'll notice I get some options. I can select all surrounding faces, I can select all outer and inner loops, I can select the tangents that are directly in contact as well as the tangents that are in contact with those, and then I can also grab all internal to the feature. Now these options will change too. For example, if I select this top face and say select connected faces, notice I have a couple other options. I can also grab all the ones that are coplanar or coplanar and connected. This is good, like if I wanted to grab the top face here and do operations on multiples, I can grab that and say, why don't you grab all coplanar faces. So this is a really easy way of being able to do these selections. And again, this functionality was added in Service Pack 2 of 2009.